8 feminine affirmations that bring him close to you. If you'd like to learn how to energetically draw a man to you, make him fall in love with you, desire you, crave you, and want to be with you constantly without a man pulling away, losing interest, not feeling connected to you, especially to your heart, and not knowing what he's doing in the relationship so that he drifts away, then this is the training for you. We're going to be talking about the affirmations, the mental game, the mindset to draw a man to you. I'm Brody Boyd, if you don't know me already, and for over 20 years combined, me and my wife, Antia, have been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with the man they want fast. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to start with the first feminine affirmation, which is, my femininity is a huge gift to a man and the only gift I need to give. This affirmation is so powerful because it reminds you that masculine energy is giving energy. And when you're in the feminine, all you really need to do is receive. The only gift you're actually giving is your feminine energy that you are receiving, that you're sharing, you're receiving and responding and allowing him to invest into you, to give, and to actually care for you in the relationship and serve you as your hero. That allows him to feel purpose, to feel meaning, and to want to provide more and more for you in the relationship. The next feminine affirmation, really a magnetic feminine affirmation, is, I trust my inner wisdom and intuition in all matters of the heart. So the feminine energy, again, is about the heart and your feelings, if you've listened to any of my trainings before. The masculine is about the head, logic, and the analysis process. When you're moving to your feminine, you're starting to trust your heart and your gut and your body more and listen to it. So being in your feminine is about trusting that inner guidance, trusting that inner wisdom, and listening to it when you're with a man, getting out of your head into your heart. How do you feel when you're with him? Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? What emotions are you actually feeling? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it desire? Is it love? Is it joy? Is it anxiety? Is it frustration and anger? And then to actually share those emotions with him in the right way using feminine communication like we'll teach you, and to allow yourself to radiate that open heart and vulnerability to him, and to trust also the guidance that comes from that process. So that is a very powerful affirmation as well. The next powerful feminine affirmation to attract a man is, I embody femininity and grace in every step I take. That you're embodying it, that it's coming through you. It is who you are. You are a naturally feminine, radiant woman. To connect to your feminine inner core allows you to live from that place and draw men to you naturally without being in your masculine, trying to control, drive, push forward, make things happen, and manipulate a man. Instead, you're being authentic. You're living from your true feminine place. And this is the anti-games method. So embodying grace and femininity in everything that you do. This also means in the workplace. It means with friends, with family, with people you meet that you aren't just men that you're interested in, that you're starting to practice what we're teaching you here with magnetic feminine polarity and magnetic feminine communication on a regular basis. And if you need help with that, make sure you take our free feminine polarity quiz if you haven't already at femininepolarity.com, or we'll post the link in the comments as well. That you are embodying this on a regular basis so that you can actually attract, even when you're not trying to attract a man. You're just naturally drawing people to you because of this femininity and grace. The next magnetic feminine affirmation to attract a man is, I let go of the need to control and enjoy the flow of love. The feminine is about being, and the feminine is about the process. The masculine is about controlling, leading, directing, just like in a dance. So part of you getting, the biggest piece of you getting into your feminine is to stop being in your masculine, to stop trying to control a man, to stop trying to lead him, to stop trying to guide him, to stop trying to give to him, stop trying to help him. He should be doing all of those things for you. He should be chasing and pursuing you. He should be giving to you. He should be leading in the relationship. He should be investing. That's where he gets his masculine sense of purpose from, his masculine core. In order to call that out in him, you have to first stop doing it yourself. Stop doing those things. As Mr. Wonderful says, stop the madness. You have to Allow him to do those things. And when you are in your feminine, you will start, and using what we teach you here, you will inspire him to want to do those things for you. And so it's going to be more relaxing for you. It's going to be much more enjoyable for you, actually, once you start really embracing this process, because you're going to have to do less work. Just like driving a car, you can only have one driver and one passenger at any time. If both people are trying to drive the car will probably crash. So to allow him to take the steering wheel and drive, and trust him and acknowledge him and appreciate him when he's driving well. And yes, of course, you can share how you're feeling and if you're enjoying it or not enjoying it, so he can make corrections. But that's what inspires him and allows him to feel good and connect to his masculine core, so he can be more fulfilled and you can be more fulfilled in a healthy, polarized relationship. The next magnetic feminine affirmation to make a man devote to you is, I communicate my emotions with ease and clarity. The masculine tells, the feminine shares and asks. So by you sharing and opening your heart and being vulnerable with him and sharing the emotions that are inside of you, that is you allowing your feminine radiance out, to allow your heart to be felt by a man, because he can't actually feel his own emotions by himself. He needs you to open your heart for him to feel his own emotions. So by you being feminine and open and vulnerable, he feels more connected. He feels that masculine feminine polarity, and his protector, provider, hero instinct will be activated if he is a good man who has any level of care for you. Of course, there are damaged men out there, emotionally damaged, mentally damaged, or they just have no level of care for you. But if he has any level of care, his instinct is going to be activated to want to provide all those things for you. And he will know when he's doing a good job and when he's not doing a good job by you communicating your emotions without judging him, blaming him, criticizing him, competing with him, controlling him, or trying to manipulate or tell him what to do. So you're allowing him to be his masculine, and you simply share your feelings, and you share them often and with clarity using magnetic feminine communication that we will teach you. The next feminine affirmation that will make a man fall in love with you is, my feelings, needs, and happiness are a priority. Believing that your feelings are valuable, that your happiness is valuable, that you are a priority, not an option, that a man will prioritize you and he will love you and he will value those things about you when you value them yourself and you practice and operate from that place, that you are open and available to have a masculine man in your life who wants to be your hero and who wants to take the lead and make you happy, that he values your happiness. And in fact, he is happy when you are happy. We know that old saying, happy life, happy wife, or happy wife, happy life. There's a lot of truth to that. A masculine man who has care and devotion for you, he's going to get his sense of happiness and fulfillment, which is really different than how you might feel happiness. He's going to get his sense of purpose and meaning, which is his happiness, by knowing that he's making his woman happy, that he's doing a good job, and he has a clear path to win with you, that you let him know when you're happy, and you also let him know in the right ways that we'll teach you when you're not happy, so that he can adjust and he'll be happy to receive that information so that he can make sure he's doing a good job. Because also men love to solve problems. The masculine energy loves to solve problems. The feminine shares and presents those problems. He gets to solve them. He gets to be a better man. He gets to win. He gets to feel good. And he wants to do more of that naturally, because now he's feeling like this is a game I can win, and he's inspired to do more and more. It's like a video game. And that's one of the big reasons why men love video games, because they love to have a clean, clear path to winning. And you can actually provide that for him and make him addicted to you, just like some men will become addicted to video games. He'll become addicted to you because you become the game that he can win. He gets to make you happy, and he wins points, and he wins new levels when he feels that he's making you happy on a deeper level and a more powerful level. And it's a powerful game you can play in a healthy, polarized relationship with a man that will continue to have this upward spiral where you continue to make each other happier and happier and happier over time, like I have with my wife. The next powerful feminine affirmation is, I am deserving of deep, unconditional love. This is about deservingness, because a worthy woman believes that her feelings are worth being shared, and she also believes that they're worth being taken care of, and that she deserves to be loved, that you're worthy of being loved. An unworthy woman will not share her emotions. She will not be open. She will not be vulnerable. She will not let a man lead. She will not ask permission. She will not show a man respect because she doesn't believe that she's actually deserving of a man providing all of those things for her. She's not actually believing that she deserves to have a man be her hero and her protector and her provider. So she unknowingly pushes it away and she says, no, I'm good. I'm an independent woman. I don't need no man. I'm going to live it my way. I'm going to do life by myself if I need to, because I don't need anyone to make me happy. And of course, a man will feel, well, if you don't need anyone to make you happy, then I want you to be happy by yourself. Like, be happy. Like, you don't need me. There's nothing I can provide for you. So go do you, because he will ultimately, his core wants to make you happy. So if you're happier without him, then he's going to default to wanting you to be happy the way you want to be happy, not with him. So you have to allow him to feel needed if you want him to actually be your hero. And you do that in many different ways that we'll teach you, but it involves primarily operating from your feminine, your magnetic feminine polarity, and communicating with magnetic feminine communication that allows him to see, oh, this is a woman that values herself. This is a woman who deserves love, and I want to continue to provide that for her. And then the last feminine affirmation here, the powerful one, is my self-love attracts the perfect love for me. Of course, we have many other of these powerful feminine affirmations, dozens and dozens actually, that we teach our women in our magnetic feminine polarity courses and our memberships. So if you want to learn that, go to femininepolarity.com and we can get you connected, or use the links in the description below to take our free quiz. But self-love and believing that you are loving yourself and you deserve love, like we talked about before, attracts the perfect love to you. And you want to remind yourself of this, that actually the love stems within yourself first. It's about loving yourself and loving your own emotions first, that you believe you are worthy and that your emotions are valuable, that you believe that yourself first, so that a man can then be inspired to also believe that about you. And he'll say, oh, I want to actually believe that as well. Or I do believe that as well because you seem to believe it thoroughly. So it must be true. Your level of belief will influence him. And by loving yourself and taking care of yourself as well, you show yourself that you are worthy of care, that you are worthy of being cared for and being prioritized, because you're prioritizing yourself. You're holding your own standards. You're not accepting, casual flings and friends with benefit situations, or just hooking up with random guys. Like, you believe you're worthy of a devoted, cherishing relationship, and you hold true to that within yourself, that you're not allowing yourself, you set boundaries with yourself, that you're not allowing yourself to get caught in bad situations, to be being a doormat with a man and setting aside all of your feelings and desires and standards in order to make him happy, or to try to get his approval, to try to get him to like you. That you stop the madness with that process and you instead say, I deserve love. I'm going to prove that to myself by investing into myself first, getting coaching, getting support, getting help with this, getting education, working on myself, taking care of my whole being, so that I naturally radiate, and men want to give me all that I am believing within myself that I am worthy of. So that's a very powerful process as well. So I'm going to open up Q&A in just a second, but if you haven't yet, take our free Magnetic Feminine Polarity quiz. Highly recommended to get coaching and have a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man, where we can really help you master this for yourself once and for all, and have a specific man that you want, finally devote himself to you and give you everything that you've been hoping for. And you can get that by going to femininepolarity.com or clicking on the link in the bio or the description below, and we will provide that for you as well for free. So get access to that so you can get our top recommendation for you there. And now I'm going to go ahead and start answering some questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and share them in the comments, and I'll be able to answer a couple of those tonight as well. I'm going to start by Jackie just says, thank you. You are welcome. Mercedes said, that is love. So you're referring to some of the things I was mentioning before, I'm sure. And then Mercedes says, that's a good question here. Really, why, if a woman needs or wants first date sex, is not good? I'm a little bit confused by the question, but what I'm imagining you're asking here is, so if a woman wants to have sex on the first date, why is that not good? Well, there's many reasons for that, but one of the biggest reasons for that is, if you have sex with a man on a first date, you've basically shown him that you are not really valuing a deep connected commitment from a man, that's not really something that you want. Because if you really wanted a deep, loving, connected, committed relationship with a man, that would be your priority and not just sex. Sex can be a short-term pleasure. Sex can be enjoyable, but also what's enjoyable is a long-term, loving, committed relationship. So it really depends on what you want and what you prioritize. Because if you're just having sex with guys on the first date or very casually, not in the context of an exclusive relationship, then you're basically showing men that is your standard, that is what you're willing to accept. That's what you want. That's what you're okay with. And that you don't really need anything else more than that. You don't really want anything else more than that, because most likely a man is not going to commit to you if you've had sex with him before you're exclusive. Because why would he? If you can get the milk for free, why would you buy the cow? That old saying. There's a lot of truth to that as well. Also, the problem that happens oftentimes is when you have sex with a man too early, you're going to bond to him much more than he's going to bond to you. Men don't bond to women in the same way that women bond to men. Biologically, men are programmed to spread their seed with as many women as they can, and women are programmed to receive a man's seed from a chosen man that they want and that they feel is worthy of them, and to have his babies. And that if she gets pregnant, she's not going to have, she's going to need that man to invest into her and protect her and the baby. So biologically, you're much more likely to get attached very early on with a man, even if you're using protection and you're not getting pregnant. And so the problem that could cause is, if you haven't been trained properly with what we teach you with magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication, most likely you're going to get anxious, you're going to get needy, you're going to get insecure after having sex with a man, especially if he's not giving you any more attention after that. And there's, again, nothing wrong with those emotions, but likely you're going to use those emotions and actually try to control him, try to get something from him, try to get an outcome, and not communicate in feminine communication, but actually use masculine communication to try to get your needs met. And that's going to push him away. So there's many other things we can go into, but psychologically, if you want a man to commit to you, you want to be using magnetic feminine polarity, which means allowing a man to give to you, to invest into you, to commit to you before you start giving to him, such as giving your body. You want him to invest first and actually prove himself. And that's usually done over time. And that's usually done emotionally and with many conversations and emotional investments, and him actually committing and proving himself that he actually wants to claim you as his, and asks you and invited you into a loving, long-term and committed relationship. So just some thoughts with that. I hope that helps. Anyone else who has questions, go ahead and feel to post those here as well, and I'll answer some more as we have time. Jan said, thank you. You're welcome, Jan. And Vicky said, is it okay to tell a guy you make me so happy? Yes, totally. That's a great thing to share with a man. Very powerful thing to share with a man. The masculine energy desires respect. The feminine energy desires to be cherished and loved and adored. So if you want to help a man feel respected and to feel also valued, then you want to share with him when he is having a positive impact with you by saying things like, I feel so happy right now. I feel so happy when I'm with you. I feel so happy that you got this for me, that you did this for me. You make me feel so happy. You make me feel great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. He knows that he is then winning the game with you, that he can make you happy, that he feels great that he's making you happy. And he also, most importantly, gets to feel your heart in those moments. The feminine, vulnerable, raw, open heart from your true, authentic emotions. Now, it doesn't mean that you should also not share when you're not happy, but you want to do that using magnetic feminine communication in the right way, so you draw him closer to you rather than pushing him away. But happiness is definitely one of those powerful emotions to share with him. Share it openly and share it often when you are feeling those things, and to let him know also why you feel happy, so that he knows what else to do in the future to continue to make you happy. So hope that was helpful. Vicky said, thank you. I'm so happy you answered because I needed to know. Yes, you're welcome. It's a very powerful thing to share. Lynn said, good information. You're welcome. Charmaine said, what if you want commitment and he keeps on punching away? Can you elaborate a little more on what you mean by punching away? I hope he doesn't mean he's punching you. That would definitely be a situation where you need to exit stage right as soon as possible. I imagine you might mean that he's just dragging you along. He's not committing. He's still seeing you, maybe friends with benefit situation or a situationship, as they call it now, and he's not committing. So, what to do in that situation? Well, a lot of what we've been talking about here, using magnetic feminine polarity and magnetic feminine communication, and communicating with him how you feel about that situation. Saying something like, "May I share something with you?" And he says, "Oh, Charmaine just elaborated. She said, pushing away, and he's not wanting to commit himself. Oh, he keeps on pushing you away. Okay, that makes more sense. Um, yeah, so you have to share your emotions with him. For one thing, you have to stop being in the masculine, because oftentimes the reason why a man isn't committing and why he is pushing you away is because you're subtly operating from your masculine. And sometimes these distinctions are so powerful, which is why it's so valuable to have a coach to see where you actually are operating from your masculine still with a man, and how to communicate more from your feminine to draw him close to you rather than pushing him away. So in order to get that, I highly recommend, if you haven't taken the quiz, again, femininepolarity.com, or click on the link in the description below, or go to our bio. And you can get that after the video as well. I highly recommend, don't finish this video without taking that quiz. If you haven't taken it already, it's really going to help you, and we can support you there with our coaching. And so, yeah, if he's pushing himself away and not committing, you want to share the emotional impact of that for you. So saying something like, "May I share something with you?" And he'll say, "Sure." And say, "I feel sad." "Why do you feel sad?" "Because I feel like we've been dating each other for a while, and it seems like we start to get closer, but then I feel like you're pushing me away. And I'm telling myself a story that you don't actually want to have a relationship, or that you're not wanting to commit yourself to a relationship. And I don't know what to do. And I need help." So you could also ask for help, which is a great way to inspire a man to want to give you help and want to be in his masculine, providing, giving to you, rather than you trying to solve the problem and you trying to tell him what to do and you trying to get him to commit, trying to get something from him. Instead, just share vulnerably your feelings and your problems and the stories you're telling yourself. And then he gets to step up and ideally solve that problem for you and try to make a relationship happen, potentially. But the process of feminine vulnerability also allows you to actually see how much a man actually cares about you, because he may not have any level of care. And this will become apparent by using feminine communication. It'll help have deeper conversations with him that allow you to see how much he cares. More likely, he will care because of you being in your feminine and creating that polarity, but he may not. And so part of the feminine is being detached from the outcome. The feminine commits to the process and detaches from the outcome. So the feminine is all about the process and the journey. The masculine is all about the outcome and the results. So all you can really do is commit to the process of being the most feminine, radiant version of you can be, and let him take care of the outcome. Let him provide an outcome, and trusting that the outcome will be whatever it will be. It may not always be what you want, but trusting that if you're practicing what you're learning here, you're going to become more feminine, you're going to become more attractive, the most attractive woman you can potentially possibly ever be for a man. And that if it's not him, you're going to attract a much better man into your life very quickly after that. But these strategies and techniques we're teaching you are going to make you the most attractive, desirable woman you could ever be to a man, that makes him want to commit and claim you as a woman. And then ultimately, you also have to look to his actions rather than his words, and see if he's actually making the steps to show that he's committed to you. For example, asking you to be his girlfriend, telling you he's not going to sleep with any other women. He's making efforts in your relationship. He's taking action. He's planning dates. He's planning activities. He's protecting you. He's wanting to plan a future with you. Those are the signs to start looking for, that he is on the true path of commitment with you and claiming you, not just saying that he is your boyfriend or saying that he wants to. So Judy said, what to do when he's not reaching out. So if you want to know what to do when he's not reaching out, if he hasn't reached out for a while, if it's been more than a week, you could also send him one thing that we teach in our courses called the appreciation bomb. And this is a specific text you can send a man that will make him desire you and make him actually feel your heart again and feel attracted to you and want to chase and commit to a relationship with you. And it involves sharing your appreciation through a message or through a text or a letter in a powerful way, in the right way, so that he can feel your heart and feel good about being in a relationship with you again, or reconnecting at least. So in short, what you want to do is, if you want the rough version of it, is sending him a message where you're sharing with him 10 things that you appreciate about him, or things that he's done for you. You could also do it as 5 things. 10 is even better. It depends on how long you haven't been in touch with him. And besides the appreciation bomb, the other thing you can do is simply send him a message such as, may I ask for a phone call? Or may I share something with you? And see what he responds. And then if he responds, you can then share your feelings and share feminine communication that will teach you magnetic feminine communication, that you can open up a conversation and actually share your heart with him and rebuild that bridge of him being far away and him not reaching out to you and not feeling desire for you. You can actually rebuild that bridge and make him want to be with you and want to connect and want to be with you. So hopefully that was helpful. If anyone has any other questions, again, feel free to comment or post below, post in the comments, and I'll answer a few more as we have time. And then let's see. Crystal said, he told you, did he give you a reason, a destination? Did you just show up? Oh, Vicky was sharing something else. Where did this go? Vicky was saying, did you call him to see what he wasn't there? Did you find out he wasn't at the train station? Oh, okay. I miss a comment here, so I'm going to put this one up. Crystal said, my boyfriend and he was going to get together this month, and he told me to be at a train station, but he was not. It's like he ghosted me. Okay, so he told you he was going to get back together. He told you to be at the train station, but he wasn't there. So I'm curious, Crystal, if you messaged him after he wasn't there and asked him what was going on or if something happened. I imagine you did. And that's an unfortunate situation if he did ghost you at the train station. That's sounds like a movie. And yeah, unfortunately, some guys are mentally broken, they're emotionally broken, they're have no level of care for you, or they're immature and they're going to pull things like this. As you get more into your feminine, you're going to attract more masculine men, where the masculine is about integrity. So it's about the word is the bond. So when he says he's going to do something, it's guaranteed to happen because he would never break his word with you. You're going to attract more of that behavior from men when you're more in your feminine, because those types of men will be drawn to you more, and that actually will inspire men more. What you being in your feminine will inspire men more to actually keep their word and to do what they say they're going to do, because they value you. And for one, they're stronger within themselves, but also they value you and they would never want to hurt you or make you feel bad in a situation like that. And I'm imagining something may have came up for him, and the reason why he didn't show up. Hopefully he did give you an explanation afterwards, but if he didn't, that's not a good situation. And also, is this somebody you met online, just like an online boyfriend, or is this like a real in-person boyfriend, or is it some long distance somebody you never actually met? Because it also could have been a scammer or some other situation. So that's what I'd say about that, Crystal. And then let's see if we have other questions here. Jeanette said, question, if he's been single a long time and not sure what kind of man is your forever guy, any ideas how to get clarity? So if he's been single a long time or you've been single a long time. So if you've been single a long time, let's say if either of you have been single a long time, how do you get clarity if he's your guy? Well, the best way to get clarity if he's your guy is to use feminine communication and to share your heart with him vulnerably, to share your emotions and see how he responds. That's why we recommend doing the Magnetic Feminine Polarity 90-day challenge, which we teach in our course. The Magnetic Feminine Polarity 90-day challenge will give you a 90-day frame, a window where you will have a process that you will go through of building up your feminine polarity and using magnetic feminine communication with him. And if after 90 days, he hasn't shifted and dramatically started stepping up and investing into the relationship and investing into you mentally, physically, emotionally, even financially in ways that would shock you, then you know he's not the right man for you. And you can leave guilt-free after 90 days. So it's a super powerful process that I highly recommend doing, the Magnetic Feminine Polarity 90-day challenge, which again, you can get and learn by going to femininepolarity.com or clicking the link in the description or comments below to take our free Magnetic Feminine Polarity quiz, which will lead you to how to start doing that and where we can help support you in that, the Magnetic Feminine Polarity 90-day challenge. So it's the main principle here is it's very powerful to give yourself a frame of time, depending on what kind of relationship you've had with this man. If you've known somebody for a while, you may want to give it 90 days is usually a good time frame. If it's somebody you've only known for a short period of time, you can do a 60-day challenge, or you could even do it as a 30-day challenge or even less. Say for 30 days, you're going to use everything that we're going to teach you as far as magnetic feminine polarity and magnetic feminine communication. And if he hasn't dramatically shifted and stepped up in your relationship and shown you that he's going to be a quality man for you, that he's going to be in his masculine, that he's going to protect and provide and be your hero and lead the relationship and invest and show care for you and check in with you regularly and want to make you happy and want to support you and actually doing those things that make you happy and support you, then you know he's not the right man for you, because you're going to activate his masculine in this process. And if his masculine is not able to be activated, that means, again, he's either mentally broken, emotionally broken, he's immature, or he does not have any level of care for you. He just does not have enough level of care for you. And then it becomes very clear he's not your guy, in which case you need to set a boundary with yourself and you need to move on. And you need to move on and allow yourself to meet a high quality man who will come into your life and give you everything that you want, because now you've practiced that for 90 days with this guy. And now you are going to be the most magnetic, radiant woman you can be. So either way, you're going to win. Either way, you're going to win because you're going to get clarity that he's the right guy for you, or you're going to win and know that, and because you become a much more magnetic woman, connected to your feminine core, being authentic and using all the things we teach you, the no games method of authentic feminine vulnerability and magnetic feminine polarity, so that a man is going to step up and want to be your hero, a new man potentially. So that's what I would say about that. That's what I highly recommend to reveal if a man is yours or not, the right man for you or not. Brenda said, I feel like I messed up a connection and he was very nice to let this connection go, but I really want to reconnect with him, but I don't know what I should do. It's been 5 months. Yes. So if that's the case, I highly recommend using our appreciation bomb text to send to him. The appreciation bomb text, which again, we teach in our courses, and we give you an exact script of what to do and how to create it. And I even give you several examples of what that looks like, which you can get by going to femininepolarity.com or clicking the link in our description or our bio. But the appreciation bomb text is going to really help you send a message to a man, as long as you can still communicate with him by message. He hasn't blocked you. But if you can still reach him by text, Facebook Messenger, or heck, if you even send him a written letter through snail mail, this will still have the same effect on him. And it'll cause him to come back to you, want to reconnect, because he'll feel great from that message. His masculine will be activated. He'll feel your feminine polarity, and then you can reconnect. And even if you made a mistake in the past, even if you screwed up the relationship, this can potentially be your best chance of saving the relationship. So I highly recommend using the appreciation bomb text, because that's really all you can do in those situations. If it's been 5 months, he hasn't reached out to you, you're going to have to share something from your feminine vulnerable heart like this, that'll cause him to feel you again and to want to reconnect, to be inspired to reconnect, because you can't force him. Ultimately, you can never control a man. You can't change him. You can't control him. All you can control is yourself. And the more you try to control him, the more you try to manipulate him, the more you try to lead him, the less likely he's going to want to come to you, because you're being in your masculine in that moment and you're pushing him away. You're giving to him. You're trying to help him. You're trying to lead him. You're trying to solve things for him. You're trying to guide the relationship. Instead, all you can really do is share, be vulnerable and feminine, and communicate using magnetic feminine communication. That's what draws him to you, being in your feminine. That's what magnetizes him. That's why we call it magnetic feminine communication and magnetic feminine polarity. That's the only thing you can use. That's the only thing you have power over as a feminine woman, to draw a man to you, is to inspire him to come to you. You become like this flame to the moth. And it's much more powerful, actually, than anything you might have thought you could do in the past to try to control a man, to get something from him, to get an outcome. This gets you much more than you ever thought was even possible to get from a man. And it's the only way that you will also be happy in the process and enjoy the process, because you're connecting to who you actually are at your core. You're not being somebody that you're not. You're actually being your most authentic, raw, vulnerable, open self. And you're doing it in the right way. So a man doesn't feel like you're telling him what to do, or you're controlling him, or criticizing him, or blaming him, or judging him, or trying to get something from him. So hope that helps, Brenda, but that's going to be the process for you. Mercedes said, where you learn all this, it is more like unlearning. Yeah, so there's a lot that you have to unlearn, because what happens is you have a natural feminine core since you were born. However, experience that you've had with your parents, with early relationships, with bad experiences you've had over time, bad education you've gotten from school, from the media, from society, from culture, that has caused you to adopt masculine ways of being. Even the workplace, unfortunately, the society we live in, we have to women often these days have to be in their masculine in order to make money, in order to provide for themselves, if they don't have a man, and if they don't have a man who's in his masculine, who wants to also be the protector and provider. So you've learned how to be masculine, and it's been put onto you like a mask that's caused you to subtly push away masculine energy in men. Either you'll attract feminine men to you, or you won't attract masculine men who want to actually protect and provide and be your hero and make you happy and help you feel loved and cherished and supported. So this mask, we have to let go of the mask. We have to unlearn the mask and the conditioning so that you can get to your feminine core and let that shine to a man. Your feminine core, which is your heart, which is your emotions, your vulnerability. And it's going to feel scary at first. It's going to feel like you're learning a new language, for one. It's going to feel foreign to you. It's going to feel unnatural, maybe even. But the more you do it, the more you practice it, and we'll guide you on how to do that. We'll teach you exactly how to do it and what to say and what steps to take. You'll become more and more feminine. You'll become you'll enjoy the process much more. You'll feel like it's fun, and you'll get to relax. And a man will want to simply step up and give to you, and he'll check in with you, and he'll want to ask you how you're feeling and are you okay and how are you doing. But he's going to do it from a masculine place. He's not going to do it from a people pleaser place where he's trying to get your approval and trying to make you happy from that place where he doesn't feel good enough, which is like what more feminine men will do. But he'll be a healthy masculine man who he's strong within himself, and he wants to make you happy. And so if you really want to master that, again, take our free Feminine Polarity quiz by going to femininepolarity.com or clicking the link in our description or bio, and we'll lay out the roadmap for you of exactly how to do that. And we'll actually be able to coach you and support you on that journey. And we'll give you specific recommendations of the next steps to take where we can help you on that journey. But either way, you'll learn so much just by taking that quiz in the process about what it actually means to be feminine and what it means to be masculine, and how you may subtly be believing beliefs that are causing you to be in your masculine and pushing a man away. But you're exactly right, for Mercedes. A lot of this is unlearning, of stopping doing the bad things, quote unquote, stop the madness, stop the masculine behavior, and actually allow yourself to reconnect and be in your feminine, because the feminine is being, the masculine is doing. So all you have to do is really be and enjoy the process. Once you get this, and once you've learned it, and once you've gotten into that sweet spot of your feminine core, you can just relax and enjoy and share and be open and be vulnerable with a man. And he's inspired, and he's taking care of everything else. And he's solving all the problems that you have. And he's wanting to plan the dates, and he's wanting to plan your future, and he's wanting to provide for you, and he's wanting to make you happy. And he feels great about it. He actually feels like this is his purpose now. You've given him a purpose. One of the core things that a man needs is a sense of purpose in the world, a sense of meaning that you as a feminine woman can actually provide for him to make him happy. And you don't have to do much you don't have to really do anything. All you have to do is to unlearn and get into the sweet spot of your feminine core and practice it consistently to where it becomes second nature, it becomes natural for you. And then men just simply want to step up and give to you. So I hope that helps, Mercedes. Judy says, do I need to be submissive when he's very masculine? Yes, but the caveat with this is you only want to be submissive if you're enjoying the process. So true submission is beautiful. True submission is following his lead, like in a dance. So he's dancing, he's guiding you, and you get to follow his lead. Now, the caveat for this is if you're not enjoying the dance, you have to speak up and you have to share and you have to say something so that he knows how to correct his actions. Because if you're just following his lead, even though you don't enjoy it, because ideally a masculine man is leading you for his pleasure and for your pleasure, mostly for your pleasure, because he's getting his pleasure by knowing he's giving you pleasure. When he sees that he's making you happy, he feels good as a masculine man from his masculine core. That's how men are wired. So he's making you happy. And if you're not feeling happy in the process, if you're not enjoying it, then you need to speak up and share. It doesn't mean that you move into your masculine and you start telling him what to do, unless, of course, you feel unsafe. If you ever feel unsafe with a man, you're physically unsafe, you need to get out of there. You can then get fully in your masculine and say, I need to leave now. I need to get out. But unless that's the case, you simply want to share how his actions are impacting you using magnetic feminine communication. Then he can adjust. He feels good about it. He doesn't feel like you're telling him what to do. He doesn't feel like you're trying to control him or take the lead yourself because you're not in your masculine, but you're sharing vulnerably. Now he actually wants to adjust and make you happy. And so sometimes you're not going to enjoy something he did. He's going to make mistakes. Men are imperfect as well. They're going to make mistakes. He's going to say something that upsets you. He's going to do something that upsets you. But if you share it in the right way, how it made you feel and the impact, you're showing that you're a worthy woman who's worth sharing, who's worth speaking up, because you're a queen. You're not just a doormat and you're not a bitch. You're the queen. A queen shares, but she's also doing it in a warm, feminine way that doesn't feel like it's attacking him. And now he can adjust, and now he actually can shift to make you happy. So hope that helps, Judy, but that's a little distinction around the submission piece. Crystal said, or Lynn said, Crystal, forget the man from the train station. Not good. Yes, if a man leaves you at the train station, can we all agree that's not a good thing? He's probably not a good man, and you should probably walk away and leave him. Now, let's see if there was a reason behind that. Hopefully he had his mother or his hamster was having diabetes and he had to go home and fix it. But if that didn't happen, then you need to actually ditch. I won't say something uncouth here, but let's say ditch the a-hole and move on. Set a boundary with yourself. You need to attract a man who's not going to leave you at the train station. Pamela said, wow, so wise. Thank you for the answer, even though it was not my question. You're welcome, Pamela. Hope that was helpful. If I didn't answer your question, feel free to ask it again. Maybe I went into a different direction or a different subject that was actually more what you needed rather than maybe what you wanted in the moment, what you needed to hear to help you. House of 1111 said, if he has been gaslighting, avoidant behavior, my points are valid, mainly expressing and holding him accountable. Separated now, he wants back. How to respond when he says it's because of me? He wants to get back because of you, or he said the issue is because of you? If he says the issue is because of you, you need to share how you feel about that statement. And you need to share in the right way using feminine communication so he doesn't feel like you're attacking him. But that's also an attack in itself. So what you want to do is share how that makes you feel and the impact of his actions. And if he says it's because of you, he has to have more reasons around that and explain what he means by that. And that's why it's going to be important for you to have a deeper conversation with him, ideally in person or over the phone, and share with him how that makes you feel and the stories you might be telling yourself around that, and let him respond and let him fix the problem, and hopefully start getting into a better dynamic where he wants to help you and he's not blaming you for the issue. Although the caveat with this is to be aware that you may have been the issue in some ways. Yes, he could be gaslighting you. He could have avoidant behavior, but always be open to look at, have you also been operating in your masculine at all? And if you were to self-correct that, you don't need him to tell you about that often. You should hopefully, with what you're learning here, be able to self-correct that, because that can definitely cause issues in relationships. But with him, it does sound like, I don't know the whole situation, but it does sound like he's probably manipulating you in some way, and he's trying to gaslight you in some way. So you do need to share your feelings with that. And if he's consistently doing that, and he's consistently blaming you, and he's consistently trying to manipulate and control you and lie to you, which gaslighting is really lying. If he's lying to you, and it's very obvious he's lying to you, and he does that consistently, you need to set a boundary and you need to be willing to walk away. Because like I said, some men are mentally, emotionally damaged. He could be a narcissist. He could be a sociopath. He could just not have any care for you for whatever reason. Ultimately, you need to be willing to walk away, and you need to leave a situation like that, because that's also how you raise your own self-value. If a man isn't treating you well over time, if you're using what we teach you here with magnetic feminine communication, magnetic feminine polarity, and you've done it several times, you've done the 90-day challenge, ideally the magnetic feminine 90-day challenge, and he still hasn't changed, he still isn't shifting his behavior, he's still not showing love and devotion and care for you and investing in the relationship and chasing and pursuing you, then you need to walk away. You need to set a boundary with yourself, and you need to say, I can't be in a situation like this. I can't be with a partner who is lying to me. I can't be with a partner who's not taking any accountability for his actions, and I need to move on. And you need to set a boundary with yourself, and you need to move on. And that's how you raise your own self-value, and that's how you will attract either better behavior from him because he senses that you're willing to walk away, so he's going to be on his better behavior, or you'll attract a higher quality man who will come into your life, who will protect you from those kind of behaviors, and he would never do something like that to you because he values your heart too much. He values your femininity and your feminine, open, vulnerable heart too much to ever want to do something like that to you intentionally. Of course, men can make mistakes, but he'll never want to do something like that to you intentionally. Hope that helps. Brenda said, thank you. You're welcome. And then, so let's see here. Fitz said, can you please do a recap? If you need a recap after this live stream is over, catch the recording. There will be a recording of this live stream. You can watch it as well. And you can get the 8 feminine affirmations that I taught in the beginning. And those can help you a lot as well. That's the mindset of moving into your feminine energy more, which is going to be very powerful. Because a lot of this and what we're teaching you here is also how do we affect your unconscious and how do we also get it into your body and your cells that you are a feminine woman, that you are able to relax, you're able to be, you're able to allow, you're able to have a man who's masculine and who has care for your heart to step in and treat you like a queen and protect and provide for you and be your hero. That's what we're teaching you here. We want to get it to you on a deep level, deep inside of you where you can't help but be this woman because it feels so good and you feel so radiant being this way. And then Pamela said, oh my gosh, I'm crying. I've never been taught this or seen this modeled for me. Makes so much sense. You're welcome, Pamela. I'll say that you're welcome for that because that sounds like it's something you're really getting. And I'm glad you're getting that. And to continue to be aware of these things and to just allow yourself to see a different perspective. Because all we're showing you here is how to see things differently, how to see the world differently in a way you may not have seen it before through the lens of masculine, feminine polarity, which our culture does not often teach us because it doesn't want women to be feminine. It doesn't want men to be masculine. It actually wants women to be in their masculine, men to be in their feminine because they become easier to control and because there's less happy relationships. If there's less happy relationships, there's more people to tax. There's more people that are able to be controlled. There are more people that are unhappy and taking antidepressants and other medications and all these things that can happen when the culture has lost its way, when people are no longer seeing reality for what it is and seeing healthy dynamics and instead living in a way that is detrimental, that is causing you to have more stress, that is causing you to feel more on edge and to feel unsafe and to feel like you have to do it all on your own. You have to do life on your own. You have to be independent. You have to be a strong, independent woman that don't need no man. And now you're stressed and you're anxious and you're looking for help, which then they can step in and help you. Because if you're looking for help from other things outside of you, like food, drugs, alcohol, the government, movies, TV, TikTok videos, mindless entertainment, then you're not going to have a man in your life to be able to provide those things for you. You're going to be filled up with so many of these unhealthy things that you're not going to be able to have room and space for a healthy, polarized relationship. So that's why we want to teach you and give you this bigger, deeper perspective into how you can actually attract a relationship that fulfills you in a healthy relationship that we always haven't even seen. Some people will say on these videos like, oh, you're taking us back to the 1950s, or you're taking us back to the 1980s. Or whatever. But actually, I don't feel that these dynamics, the way we're teaching it, these healthy polarized dynamics have really ever existed in human history. The way we're teaching it here, where women are in their queen, where they're open and vulnerable, but also speaking up and sharing with a man. Because some people will look back to like the 1950s or other times in history and say, well, the problem with those situations is oftentimes the women weren't speaking up. They weren't sharing their feelings. They weren't using feminine communication. And the men weren't showing care for a woman's feelings as much. They weren't in their whole healthy masculine. They were more functioning and doing what they felt they had to do because of what their grandparents were telling them to do or what they'd done before. But it wasn't actually a healthy, polarized dynamic that hasn't really been seen potentially in human history. And so we're teaching you a new way of being with men and with yourself that allows you to actually be the queen, which is the best of both worlds, that you're able to set boundaries with yourself. You're able to have standards and step up and speak up, but you're also able to follow a man's lead and to let him be your protector, provider, hero, and provide for you and give to you and make you happy. So you're getting both of those things in the middle, the queen. So it's a new way of being. So I'm so glad that's impacting you, Pamela, and I'm excited to see how things develop for you as well, and would love to keep helping you with that. Crystal said, "Amen." Yes, amen. Amen to that. And we're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. Final call for any last questions you might have. And let's see. Kat said, "How do you approach not getting a good morning text after 3 months getting them every day? Does this mean he's losing interest?" Well, I'd say it depends on how long he hasn't been giving you good morning texts for. If it's been a couple of days, then likely you can have a conversation around it using magnetic feminine communication, and you would share your feelings around it. So you would say something like, well, these conversations are usually best as well. So what I'll say as a caveat here, if you don't know this already, the way we teach it, that whenever you're having a deeper conversation with a man, sharing your feelings, sharing the stories you're telling yourself, or sharing your problems, you want to first have those conversations in person or over the phone. So you would ask a question like, may I ask for a phone call? Or may I ask if we can talk in person? Or if we can meet in person? And then he will likely say, sure. And then you can have set up the phone call. And then on the phone call, you would say something like, may I share something with you? Sure. I feel sad. Why do you feel sad? Because I've noticed that you haven't texted me a good morning text in the last couple of days. And I feel sad because I'm telling myself a story that you may be losing interest, or you may not want to connect with in that way anymore. And I don't know what to do. And let him respond to that. Let him solve the problem. Let him share with you why that might be, or what his thoughts are on it. If he doesn't, you could also say something like, may I ask for some help? Because now you shifted the dynamic. Now he actually is getting to feel your heart. He's getting to feel you, and he actually gets to become a problem solver. He gets to solve the problem. Now he's stepping into his masculine. He's able to invest into you. And you've also been vulnerable in a way where he feels good about it. He doesn't feel like you're criticizing him, you're attacking him, you're telling him what to do. And now he wants to step up and be a better man for you, ideally. Now, of course, if he's mentally, emotionally broken, or if he's a narcissist or sociopath, or he doesn't have any care for you, then he may not respond well. He may say, yeah, I'm not interested anymore. I don't want a relationship anymore. In which case, that actually the communication has worked because it's revealed his heart. And in which case you can move on knowing he wasn't the man for you. You can move on knowing that he doesn't have the care for you, or that he's broken. Ideally, after several times of doing this, that will become very clear. But likely what's going to happen instead is he's going to apologize. He's going to want to step up. He's going to want to change himself, not because you told him to, not because you even asked him to, but because he wants to, because he wants to make you feel happy, not sad. Hope that was helpful, Kat. And then Judy said, yeah, walking away works always. It's not even always the walking away that works, Judy. It's the ability to walk away. It's the willingness to walk away. They say this in negotiations and in business. The one who's most willing to walk away holds all the power. It's true in relationships as well. When you're willing to walk away, the power comes back to you. It doesn't mean you're going to walk away, but it means you're willing to walk away. Because what that means is that if he's not meeting your standards, if he's not providing you what you need in the relationship, and you've used magnetic feminine communication and magnetic feminine polarity, ideally you've done it for 90 days using the magnetic feminine challenge, the 90-day challenge. And if he hasn't stepped up, if he hasn't changed and given you what you need and done all the things that you desired him to do in your relationship from just sharing your feelings, then you have to walk away. And you can walk away guilt-free because you know you've done everything you need to do and that you can do, because all you can control is yourself. And now you can move on guilt-free. And then you're much more likely to also attract a better man into your life at that point. So that's the real power, is actually the willingness to walk away. And then Judy said, I guess nice girls get manipulated always. It's not the fact that they get manipulated, but what happens is with nice girls, which we use a different term for that here. So the term we use for nice girls is the doormat. So the doormat, we will put the doormat over here. So the doormat is a woman who doesn't speak up, who doesn't value herself, who lets a man do things that she doesn't like, that make her feel bad. He's leading, but not in a good way, or he's not leading at all. And she's not willing to walk away. So what happens with the doormat is men don't respect her. They don't value her. And they may not even be a bad person, but because she doesn't really seem to have any feelings, or she doesn't communicate her feelings in the right way, he just does what he wants, regardless of how she feels. He may not even know how she feels, and eventually he may not care how she feels because she doesn't say anything. So he'll just do whatever he wants. He'll sleep with other women. He will lie to her potentially. He will just take from her. He will take her money. He will take her time. He'll take her energy, and he'll just continue to do that. So that's what happens with the doormats. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, what will often happen is the doormat will swing all the way to the other side, where she'll become what's called a bitch, the technical term that we call them here. The bitch is a woman who is the opposite, who she is telling men what to do. She's in her masculine. She's always walking away from men. In fact, she's the one that's usually dumping men, but she will take from men. She will abuse men. She will verbally abuse them, emotionally abuse them, maybe even physically abuse them. And she's like the total opposite of the doormat. But what happens is men don't want to be with her either, because she's just too hard to be around. She's too masculine. She's too controlling. She's too critical, and she's not enjoyable at all. But then in the middle, what we have is the queen, which is what we're teaching you how to be, and what we teach in our courses, in our memberships, is how to be the queen, so that you are in the healthy balance of being able to speak up and share your standards, being willing to walk away, but you're also warm. You're in your feminine, you're open, your heart is open, you're trusting of him. You inspire him to lead you and to value you at the same time, to devote himself to you and be deeply attracted and desiring of you all at the same time, by you being the queen. And it's exactly what we're teaching you here. So I hope that helps, Judy. And so Brenda said, how do I sign up to get with that message I want to send him? Oh, yeah. So if you want to get the appreciation bomb, to send a message, it's to send to a man who hasn't been communicating with you for a while, and you want to have him come back to you. You get that by taking our free quiz, magnetic feminine, or femininepolarity.com, or in the link in the description below, or in our bio. Get that link, our free feminine polarity quiz. And then depending on your answers, you may be recommended to join our magnetic feminine coaching membership as well. You may have the option to join that. And that is where we have a whole course on how to send that text, exactly what to say in that text, how to create it, how to frame it. And I give you examples. And so, yeah, that's what I recommend. And we provide that for you with a full guarantee as well. They get him back if it doesn't work. If you join the membership and if it doesn't work, you get all your money back, because that's how confident we are that it'll work. And if it doesn't for some reason, we're happy to give you back your money as well for that membership. But that's where you would get that appreciation bomb text, super powerful. And we lay it out specifically. And I have a new updated version for it as well. I just updated it actually recently. That's the most effective it's ever been with a guy. So hope that helps, Brenda. Mercedes said, thanks a lot for your time and sharing here for everyone. It's great too. You're welcome. Glad that was helpful. And then I'm just going to answer these last ones here, and then we're going to end for tonight. I have moved from feminine to masculine, but I feel it's because of frustration due to not getting anywhere. I do understand what you said. My mistake is I got distracted to begin with. Thank you. Yeah, so it's good awareness. It's good awareness to be aware when you are moving into your masculine, and just to notice it and say, oh, this must be the reason why my guy is acting like the way he is, and he's not investing into me, and he's pulling away, or he's losing interest, or he's on his bad behavior. Because again, if you're being the bitch or if you're being the doormat, either of those are going to push a man away over time. The only way that you really draw a man to you is by being in your queen, using magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication. That's what draws him to you. And that's the only way to draw him to you. Otherwise, those two things will either make him not value you on this side, or it'll push him away from your masculine energy on this side. So we want to avoid both of those. And Liberty said, that's exactly what happened to me. The masculine energy is required to get out of unhealthy or abusive relationships. Just like Brody said, I don't want to stay in that though. Yeah, so you want to be careful. You want to make sure you don't swing from, I don't want to mix the sides up here, from the doormat to the bitch, but instead we're moving you into the queen. So that way, because yes, the masculine energy, if you're in a bad situation, if you feel unsafe, you may need masculine energy to get out of that situation. Once you're out, it's about how can we get you back into your healthy feminine, where you can connect back to your heart, your core, and enjoy your life again, enjoy men again, enjoy connecting again with the right men, the right quality men who are going to come into your life when you're more in your core. So that we also make sure you don't attract another man who's going to abuse you, another man who's not going to treat you well, another man who's not going to invest in the relationship or just breadcrumb you or give you little, lead you on in a lot of ways. But actually a healthy man who wants to commit and devote himself to you for a long-term, loving, committed relationship. So that's what the goal is moving forward now. Christina said, thank you. You're welcome. And then, yes, thank you. Beautiful. You're welcome. And then the last question, the very last question, Kat said, can I just text instead of having a phone call about asking him? No, I would try to have a phone call first. In worst case, he says no, and then you can text. So always try to get a phone call. If you're going to have a deeper conversation using a lot of what we're teaching you here and sharing a problem or sharing a deeper emotion that you're having, you want to ask for a phone call. Say, may I ask for a phone call, and set up a phone call with him, because it's going to go much better often than if you were just to text him all of your feelings or text him your problems. It's going to go much better if you can do that over the phone or in person. Worst case is he says no, and then you can say, may I share something with you here? And then you just share it over text. That's the worst case scenario. But it also will reveal a man to you if he's actually having that level of care for you, that he's willing to do that. If he's not, then that's probably a sign you really need to walk away, because he just does not have any level of care for you. And it's become very clear. So great. All right. Liberty said, I did the quiz. Awesome. You're going to set up your call with Antia. That's great. Awesome to hear that, Liberty. I hope that goes well. I know you're going to enjoy talking with Antia as well. And we're going to get you on the right path. We're going to help you a lot with this to master it once and for all. Because oftentimes what you need is you need a coach. You need an expert outside of you to actually show you where you are being masculine subtly, and where the parts of you that are already connected to your feminine, and how we can bring those out more. Because it's not about changing who you are. None of this is about changing who you are. It's actually just about reconnecting to who you actually are at your core, the core self, beyond all the masks and the masculine training you may have had from the society, from your parents, the modeling. We're getting back to who you are at your core. And that's going to make you so much happier. It's going to make you so much more magnetic to everyone in your life, not just to men, not just to a man you want, but to your friends, to your family, to your colleagues, to people you just run into when you're out in the world. It's going to make you more magnetic to all of them. So it's a very powerful process, and it'll change your life. And so that's all for tonight. Hope this was helpful. You're welcome, House. Glad this was helpful. Again, if you haven't yet, make sure to take the free Feminine Polarity Quiz. I highly recommend it. It'll get you on the right track and allow us to really support you with mastering this in your life, so that you're not just continuing to try to do it on your own, which is masculine. The feminine asks for help. The feminine asks for support. The feminine allows people to help her solve your problems. Let us help you solve your problems for you, so that you don't have to do this all yourself, because it's a lonely journey. It's a hard journey, and it'll cause you to harden in that journey more into your masculine. So we want to support you. We want to help you, and have you actually attract a man also who will help and support you mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, in ways that would surprise you often, that he's actually capable of doing that for you. Because once you spark that within him, once you activate that, it's the natural outcome. So again, go to femininepolarity.com, or you can click the link. I'll put this on here. You can click the link in the description or in our bio to get that. Now that we've ended the video, it's a perfect time to go take that quiz as well and get the support, and hopefully also join our coaching, join our memberships, get our courses. Let us help you. And I'm looking forward to helping you on this journey, because it's going to be so great for you. And I can't wait for you to be one of our next success stories, to have this super happy, healthy, fulfilling relationship, healthy, polarized relationship that you've always dreamed of. So much love. Take care. And I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.